it's very colourful, possibly too colourful. Yes, I think it's too colourful. Is it time for yet another coffee? I might drink some water. Oh, there's my money. I thought my money was gone, but it's not. So we've got here, I've just added the concentric rectangles. You wouldn't need, it's, you don't need to say rectangular rectangles because rectangular rectangles are rectangular. So there's the concentric rectangles, the vertical and horizontal lines, and there's also, for want of another word, a colour splash from the plasma. I don't think I've used much, what do you call it? Just have a look at it. They call it colour mix. I've used flat effect. Oh, gollies. Maybe this time for another coffee. I was going to drink water. Isn't that pretty? I like that. I like those colours and the general layout. Let's move it along, shall we? We're going to go tea. Tea brings in some brown. There's quite a lot of green and brown now, and blue, green and brown and blue and white. How could you forget the white? I wonder how long the white's going to last. Isn't it pretty? I wonder if there's any white in tea. Yeah, there is. There's a white bit in tea, and there's Money Next and Instagram, which Money is, there's yellow, green and blue, and Instagram is yellow, green and blue too. Oh, we've got red coming through. And then the green is there. I think the green will always be there because that was the beginning start. Oh, gollies. Oh, it's changed. Oh. I might leave it for another minute. I think at the moment I've been leaving it about 3 minutes on a single thing. I'm gonna have another coffee. Coffee time! Oh, the red's coming through again, red and green and pinky creamy colours. Pink and creamy colours. I'm gonna drink some water. Drink the lemon water. Right, I'm gonna move it along now to Money. I'm gonna get a glass have some toast, couldn't I? Couldn't I have some toast? Right, I'm going to move along, going to Instagram. I think that's very similar. I wonder what's behind it. Seems very dominant. Yummy, yummy, yummy water. Yummy lemon water. Yum, yum, yum. Should I or should I not have some toast? Bits of brown coming through there. We're gonna have Marmite toasty thing. Yummy toasty Marmite. Uh-oh. 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 It's nearly 9 minutes. All that's been quite the same. Let's move it along, shall we? Go to sunshine. No, it's sunshine. Nine, 10, 11, 12. It's all very fabulous. It's just so fabulous. Right, I've got the toast in. I'm drinking my my lemon water, and I've had a shower. I think my glasses might need cleaning. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm very fat. I'm fat boy. Now we're going to go to sunset. Oh, get the butter and the plate and the knife. And we could get some cheese. little bits of cheese and a pointy put. Grab a knife picker. Oh, it's lovely toast. It's superb. It's so yummy. It's the yummiest toast in the whole wide world. Uh-oh. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yum, yum, yum. Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I think it's fucking ridiculous. Freezing the bread. Yeah, finally use this last little piece of processed cheese. And I think I might have some more. Oh, guys. Top on the Marmite. Hello, Marmite. I'm putting the top on you, but a couple right grooves. Top on the little baby Oliviani, which is the butter. It's the butter's margarine. And I'm gonna make the coffee, even though I haven't finished my lemon water. But now practically I've never finished my lemon water. We're running out of milk, so probably have to go buy some more. Bye bye lemon water. Move this on. Having sun. Sun seems to be quite dominant. Right, we need a teaspoon and some coffee. Coffee peppers and sugar, which we're not supposed to have. No sugar. I'm feeling so proud of myself because I'm not having any sugar.
I'm more interested in the nuclear test than Los Angeles. The alien.
Fair enough.
That really happened. It's just drug craze. Hippies just say they came.
What? You were drug crazy?
Yeah, but I didn't see aliens. I saw a few other things, but not aliens.
And then we're also going to do a bit of camping.
Camping? I'm not going to sleep in a tent.
It's going to be more glamorous camping.
That sounds wonderful. I'm really convinced. Really.
My name's Jack Osborne, and this is my dad, Ozzy. And another dog, Prince of Darkness, and surprisingly enough, history nerd. As the old saying goes, father like son. So my dad and I are doing something we always wanted to do. We're hitting the road. Just the two of us, and a bucket list of places and things we've only ever read about in books. Oh my god, it's amazing. All seen on TV and the web. You have your night.
Yes.
Civil days, we might need it. There are no roadies, no tour buses, no boundaries. Welcome to Ozzy and Jack's World Detour.
Alright, we're in New Mexico, home to Breaking Bad, alien crash sites, and atomic weaponry. I believe in UFOs. My dad doesn't necessarily believe in UFOs. I have been researching Roswell since I was a kid. I know lots about it. So it's really cool to finally get to go. My hopes, dreams, and aspirations are we do get abducted by aliens, and we unlock the secrets to the universe. That's it.
So we're going to a museum that it's a basic museum of atomic history in America. They've got B-29 bombers there.
Oh, it's got to be
They've got
massive.
rockets. They've got Batman, a little boy.
That was the man who just came down to Japan.
Yeah. So we're here, and old Roswell. It's a bit of a drive for us, but I got this really souped-up camper van. It's like this four-wheel drive, like doomsday vehicle,
Wow.
and it's got a toilet.
Okay.
So we're going to a campsite tonight.
Why is it cold in there?
Yeah, but this RV has like heating and a hot shower.
Okay.
Shall we hit the road?
Yeah.
Here's our chariot.
Is this a joke?
No, it's the boogie wagon.
Where do I sit in the back or the front?
No, she's in the front.
I can say I've travelled on Concord everywhere now.
I know you're used to a G4, but you'll have to do.
What the f is this?
Dad, it's about bonding.
Bonding?
It's about you and I farting together in the same bubble.
This is like a joke. I think I'm dreaming.
This is where you'll be sleeping. So what do you think? Should we
Hit the road.
hit the road? See,
Alright.
we'll survive the.
Oh yeah, sure. In that mid-70s, me and the drummer Bill used to travel all over in a GMC mobile home. It was better than that thing.
Well, what did your mobile home have besides massive amounts of alcohol, women, and drugs?
Oh, it was that. So I thought we were going to have a tour bus.
It's a tour camper van.
It's like a peasant truck.
Peasant truck? No, it's like the Breaking Bad meth camper van.
That was more upmarket than this thing. It's down to real car seat.
The good thing is, there's a toilet you can puke in the bank. The reason why we had to get this camper van is that where the supposed UFO crashed is out in the middle of nowhere, and you need a 4x4 to get there.
What's the deal? Get there?
Well, we're going to go tomorrow. We're going to go to a campsite tonight.
We're going to camp out tonight? In this?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll cuddle you, keep you warm. Go.
It's like my career's took a dive.
Your career might be in like a bit of a low spell right now, having to do this, but our relationship is at an all-time high.
But it could be worse.
Could be worse.
I could be stabbed.
I knew my dad wasn't the biggest fan of camping, but he is a big World War II buff. So before we hit the
There come with an option or two. Andrew?
We're going to follow the same line as Glenn, and I'm going to go with the trampoline.
Okay, is he right? Not there. Delphine options right now to steal the first points tonight. Matt.
How about a pool?
Anthony. Paul. Okay. Carla.
I'm going to say Paul too.
Mike. Loud message on behalf of the family.
Could go against it, couldn't I?
You certainly could.
It's a long trip back to Glasgow.
Long drive.
Pool the answer.
Cool it is. And if one of these families can win for 5 nights in a row, they'll drive home in a sensational Mitsubishi ASX. The ASX offers impressive fuel economy, a 5-star handicap.
Of being affiliated with what he described as militias with extremist agendas. As fighting flared in 2015, the UN stepped in brokering a power-sharing agreement. The deal signed in Morocco established a government of national accord which was endorsed by the UN and international community as Libya's legitimate government. But 2 years ago, hopes to end the political divide suffered another setback when the mandate of the GNA ended. Arch rivals Faiz al-Sarraj, Prime Minister of the Tripoli-based GNA, and Khalifa Haftar had several meetings but failed to overcome their differences. In April, Haftar ordered his so-called National Liberation Army to capture the capital. After making initial gains, the warlord's forces suffered a series of defeats in street-to-street fighting on the outskirts of Tripoli and have remained there since. 2 weeks ago, Haftar's forces, backed by Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Russia and the UAE, launched what they described as the final battle. It's already killed and wounded hundreds of civilians and forced nearly 140,000 people from their homes. 8 years after Libyans flooded the Swiss calling for democracy, the country is at war and divided like never before. Hashim Al-Bala, Al Jazeera.
Now, Brazil's controversial president Jair Bolsonaro has completed his first year in office. It's been a combative 12 months in which he struggled to implement the most radical parts of his right-wing agenda while seeing his popularity decline. But improvements in Brazil's economy could give him another opportunity in 2020. Alessandra Ampietti has more.
A year after his surprising victory, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has failed to deliver on his most radical promises, but managed enough wins to keep them alive. The former army captain, a self-confessed nostalgist for the Brazilian dictatorship, has blamed the democratic checks and balances in his country for slowing down his dream of freeing Brazil of what he calls the ideology of the left and globalization, while pushing for his pro-gun, pro-religion agenda. A third of the country remains delighted with his ideas, but many seem to have had second thoughts.
He was rather inexperienced, and throughout this year he has had many specific problems, scandals and so on, which haven't allowed him perhaps to build or to maintain that high level of popularity.
He's been at loggerheads with international organizations as he played down the devastation of the Amazon rainforest, with a 76% increase in fires compared to the previous year. Domestically, it has also been a turbulent time. Promises of legalizing the carrying of arms and offering immunity to police carrying out lethal operations were rejected by Congress or halted by the Supreme Court. Corruption scandals involving his sons damaged his image as a crusader against corruption, and the country's powerful farming lobby forced him to push down his anti-China, anti-communist rhetoric. Yet he managed to pass historic pension reform after decades of failed attempts to tackle Brazil's sky-high public debt.
I think some of his main promises that were related to security, to the ability to have guns and things like that, haven't turned out to be so successful or so important. I think what's happening if you read public opinion and so on is that focus is moving, surprise, surprise, towards the economy.
His international supporters still hope he will be able to tackle drug gangs and crime, but to further his vision, the key will be revitalizing a still sluggish economy. A year later, it's unclear what he'll be able to achieve, but few doubt he'll remain as controversial as ever. Alessandro Ampieti, Al Jazeera.
Now, fact-checking organizations are warning that not enough is being done to combat disinformation in Georgia. They say there are anti-Western websites mirroring Russian claims that Georgia hosts a secret biological weapons laboratory run by the United States. Al Jazeera was given special access to the laboratory at the center of the allegations. From Tbilisi, Robin Forrestier-Walker has more.
We were shown inside Georgia's Luga laboratory, which detects and prevents the spread of dangerous diseases. But pro-Kremlin media claim it spreads disease, experimenting on humans with cancer, the Zika virus, killer mosquitoes, and plagues of stink bugs. I asked the laboratory's director whether there was any truth to these narratives.
But we are not making Zika virus in this laboratory.
The killer mosquitoes?
But the laboratory is, the level of the laboratory is so high that we can diagnose here the Zika, Ebola, Crimea, Congo, and many, many infection diseases.
No killer
But
mosquitoes?
we are not making these viruses here.
No marmorated stink bug coming from the Luga laboratory?
What?
The marmorated stink bug.
I'm
not a scientist, but what I have been seeing here suggests that this laboratory is exactly what the Georgian government says it is. But the Russian claims that what's going on at the Luga lab is far more sinister haven't been supported by any hard evidence. Facebook investigators made the startling claim that Georgia's governing party had adopted Russian-style disinformation to discredit its opponents. Facebook shut down dozens of fake news accounts and pages. Government officials deny the allegations, but fact-checking organizations say political groups in Georgia increasingly employ such tactics. More than 100 Facebook pages connected to far-right organizations spread anti-Western narratives.
And they're in Georgian language.
The Alliance of Patriots Party, which came third in elections in 2016, claims homosexuality is a Western disease and that NATO membership will cause another war with Russia.
You're fighting a losing battle. Is that how you would characterize it?
Yes, because what we see, the groups of these people is increasing, the audience number is increasing, and so they're working very coordinated. So in this case, we have at least a reason to admit this and to start working on that issue.
Like a virus, disinformation in Georgia is spreading faster than it can be contained. Robin Forrestier-Walker, Al Jazeera, Tbilisi.
The daughter of Angola's former president is denying allegations of corruption after a court froze her bank accounts. Government says the court action against her is part of an anti-corruption drive. Isabel dos Santos says the accusations are politically motivated, though. She's been described as Africa's richest woman. But her father, the former president José Eduardo dos Santos, led Angola for 38 years until 2017. Angola is an oil-rich country. Oil production and the industries that support it contribute to around 89% of its exports. But much of the population is poor. Last month, José Filomeno dos Santos, the son of the president and the brother of Isabel, went on trial for corruption. He has pleaded not guilty. Well, Isabel dos Santos spoke exclusively to Al Jazeera and said there had been a lack of due process.
So my half-brother, José Filomeno, was charged a few months ago, and he was under preventive custody for a long time. In Angola, the law establishes that you're only allowed to be under preventive custody for 4 months. In fact, he stayed for 9 months. So he was arrested for 9 months with no trial, no charges. This was a complete violation of his human rights. So there was a blatant violation of his rights, all of his legal rights. He also was not afforded representation. On blocking his accounts, they have not allowed him to pay for his legal fees. So in fact, he had to ask for a state lawyer to represent him. And I'm very concerned that these court cases are just instrumental
world's biggest producers of ocean plastic pollution. Retailers and authorities are trying to clean up the country's act by banning some single-use plastics, but as Jessica Washington reports, they also face the big challenge of changing the attitudes of consumers.
Around 45 billion plastic bags are used every year in Thailand, but the new year will bring a change in behaviour for consumers all around the country. Major department stores, convenience stores and supermarkets will all implement a ban on plastic bags from this year. Signs like this are on display around the country explaining the changes, telling consumers they'll need to plan ahead for the next time they go shopping. There's also a ban on beauty products with microbeads and plans for a ban on plastic cups within the next 2 years.
I think this is a good idea because it will clean up the environment. These days it's so hot as the weather is changing. It's hard to do my job as a driver because of the heat. We need to stop using so much plastic and reduce the garbage overall.
But getting Thai consumers to break up with plastic could prove challenging. The highest percentage of plastic usage doesn't come from department stores and convenience stores. It comes from places like this, fresh food markets and food stalls. And getting independent sellers to get on board with a plastic ban could prove challenging.
I think a plastic bag ban is a good idea, but what will I use instead? What would be a good substitute? These flowers are wet, so they need to be in a plastic bag. But still, I think reducing plastic is a good idea because of climate change.
The anti-plastic push has been in part spurred by the high number of wildlife fatalities caused by plastic ingestion. One case which caught the attention of the public was that of a baby dugong which died after eating several kilograms of plastic. That case and others like it served as a graphic reminder to the public of the dangers of excessive plastic usage.
Still ahead on the programme, why things are no longer double Dutch as the government decides on just one name for their country. And world tennis number one Rafael Nadal gets on the trail of wildlife and trophies in Australia. When was the last time you were out on the streets protesting? Whether online.
You feel the weight of the system that you walk through each and every level or layer further into the jail.
Or if you join us on set, re-entry has to start from day one, whether again your detention or your incarceration. This is a dialogue. Everyone